Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Meet the Mavericks podcast. I am with a new Maverick today. His name is Bipin Kaul, and he is an Ultraman. Please like, subscribe, and share this channel so that we can get inspired while listening to the stories of the Mavericks. Without a further ado, let's welcome Bipin Kaul. Bipin, welcome to Meet the Mavericks podcast.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for having me here and able to share the my experience so far in my life. Thank you very much for having me.
Brilliant. Gratitude for coming into this space. Bipin, before we start, Bipin, I would like you to please introduce yourself, what you currently do, where you are currently to our audience, please.
Hi, my name is Bipin Kaul, and I am based out of India, Gurgaon. I've been here for I'm in India for last 47 years. I used to work with company called PTM, and I've just moved out and moving out of country now, and for exploring better opportunities. But I have been all along. My career has been into banking and payments company, and I have a small family. My wife, she's working, and my two daughters and my mother. We stayed together in Gurgaon. And
Brilliant.
I'm an endurance practicer, so I believe in endurance. And be it professional life, be it my personal life, my significant time goes into sports. And it's not extracurricular; it's co-curricular. It's part of my life. The sport has to be the endurance sport, especially has to be there.
No, brilliant. I think this is why I call you Maverick because you are the Ultraman. In the last episode, we had an interview with Sanjay, who is an Ironman. So, what is Ultraman then?
So Ultraman is a triathlon event. It comes into category of a triathlon. Triathlon is a event where three form factors of sports are done. So swimming, cycling, and running. So in triathlon, in Ultraman, you do on day one. It's a 3 day event. You get 12 hours every day to finish whatever is there to be done. On the first day, you do 10 kilometers of swimming and followed by 145 kilometers of cycling. Then next day, you do 275 kilometers of cycling. And on the third day, last day, you run double marathon, which is around
Oh,
84 kilometers.
wow.
So back to back 3 days, you have to do these three events within the cutoff of 12 hours.
Wow. Wow. So, how many Ultramen are in the world at the moment?
See, when I had done in India or Indian origin, NRIs, all expats, everything, we were around 25 people across world. 25
Wow.
people. In the world, there will be 1,000 plus or take here their 10%, 1,000 plus. But now it has caught up. Now it has become like any other sports. So it is catching up. So every year I see from India 5, 10 Ultramans coming up. But when we
Great.
started off, it was very niche event. And unfortunately, in India, we don't have that kind of infrastructure, especially on the swimming side. And
Yeah.
that's what, and
Yeah.
swimming 10 kilometers is not a small thing. You really need to
True.
practice for that and have to have an infrastructure for that. But now it has become, it's not a very niche kind of an event. People are aware, and people, I see every next guy now wants to do either Ironman or Ultraman in India.
That's great. You know,
But
it's
it's a grilling event.
yeah.
It's a grilling
Yeah.
event. More
Yeah.
importantly, because it's a 3 day event. When you rest, that is the worst part. Because next day getting up and doing again with same
Yeah.
intensity is very
Yeah.
difficult. So the
Yeah.
training itself is very different for Ultraman than an Ironman. Ironman is like in the same day you do slog and finish it off. But the minute you take a break and come back after another 6, 7 hours, that is the tricky part in
Tricky.
Ultraman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is where it tests your resilience during that resting
Yeah,
period,
that
right?
is
Yeah.
your training is completely different. Obviously, mentally, imagine you have had a grilling one day, and next morning you are saying now you are going to have a 2x grilling day from that. So obviously, endurance sport is not only about fitness. Like fitness is given; that's a necessary condition to be physically fit. But people who are not able to do endurance are people who are physically fit but not mentally strong enough to actually finish it off.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what actually then inspired you to take this challenge initially?
I don't know. It's combination of multiple things. I'll not say that I had a dream and then I wanted to become an Ultraman. So the most important part, what I can for think through why I have started all these things was my schooling. I belong to Srinagar, Kashmir, and the school
Ah,
I
okay.
studied was a Christian missionary school where all these things were core activity, core part of development of a child. So sports was a core part of the development of a child. So like in sixth, by the time I crossed fifth to sixth class section, if I'm not a full-fledged swimmer, I would not go to the next class. Even if you're a topper of a class, if you're not a swimmer, you can't go to the next
Wow.
class. You will be held
Right.
back.
Right.
And swimming, becoming a swimmer was like an Olympic sized pool. You go 50 meters down and come back, and 100 meters without holding the bar. You become a swimmer and you get a certificate and everything. That is the kind of grooming which I saw in six. So I did these things. In my seventh class, I swam 11 kilometers, Dal Lake, full
Yeah.
going and coming in
Wow.
my seventh class.
Wow.
So this is the kind of upbringing I had in my school, and I really wish I could actually give 10% of that to my kids, because that is what has made me today what I am today. It has a significant part. So I think that was the one part where I see that I had this ability to do these crazy stuff. And then I was lucky eventually in my career in coming to Gurgaon. I was lucky to be in the right company. I got the right. I was really lucky to be in the right set of people. Somebody was doing Ironman, somebody was doing a marathon, somebody was doing a Ultraman comrades, somebody is doing English channel. So I used to get so inspired. There have been times I used to stand in line to hear somebody.
Wow.
So right school and right company. I think for me, these were two reasons why I got into this. And after that, after every event, I surprised myself that, oh, I can do this. Come on, now let me try something else, something else, something else. And it's been always that God has been kind that whatever I register, at that time, I'm like, shit, what did I do? What is this ice like that? But eventually, God has been kind to me to allow me to finish it very well.
No, brilliant, brilliant story. And like they say, like universe brings you to the place where you are meant to be, right? So this was your journey. This is where you meant to be. That's why universe
So everything,
pointed you towards that. Yeah.
the biggest hurdle is registering. Rest, everything then falls in place. This has been my experience. I do not look at things that let me read the profile of the race, how difficult it is, who has done it, how much will it cost. I will just go and register it. The worst part is I'll lose the money if I don't do it. But God has been kind that I have never done that. The journey itself is my experience. You would see my medals and everything. I would have done 1,000+ events and all that, and crazy kind of events. I have never failed because the beauty of the journey is in the learning, exploring, doing the research work, then training, then practicing. I hardly remember the event itself. I don't remember Ultraman. But I remember every day getting at 3 o'clock in the morning, slogging out 5 hours, then coming back in the office, doing 7 hours again, 6 5 hours in the night, sleeping again. How would I manage my diet? How would I manage my office? I think that is what I remember, and that is what I love about this thing. It's like preparation is actually the journey is interesting, more interesting than the event itself.
True. True. That's what they say. Destination is not important. The journey, the company is very
Oh,
important towards
yes.
that destination. Yeah. Yeah.
And that is where you become a better person.
True.
It's not in the event.
Yes.
It is in the journey. And
Yes.
unfortunately, people miss that journey. They want to ask somebody else what was the journey and copy paste it and just want to go to the event.
True. True.
I tell people that, trust me, the enjoyment, the learning, the exponential growth will come in this journey. What you will learn, what you will research, what you will train for, how you will document it, how will you actually build that experience. I think that is what the key is about. That's how I've learned. And this is what I've been able to inculcate in my professional life also.
Yeah, this is where the transformation happens, so in that journey. So for this transformation, then how do you cope with that physical and mental challenges, that arise during the race or during your journey? How do you cope with them?
See, I think for me it was much more. One, I had right company, right people. I always got to know rather than hit and trial. I got to know as something like this happens. This is how you train. This is the diet you need to maintain. This is what it takes. What kind of stuff to use. What kind of equipment to use. So I had that support system. But I used to plan a lot. When I was doing my Ultraman, I was actually my family was in Delhi, I was in Bangalore. So it's like I was completely scattered, and I had to do this event where every day for 6 months I had to train 5 to 7 hours.
Wow.
So I had actually become like a computer. My every day was planned. For I used to plan for 15, 20 days which city I would be in, what event, what practice would I do. Okay, I'm going to be in Chennai, so that sea is there, so I can do sea swim. So I would plan sea swim there. I would be in Bangalore, there's a running and cycling, I would do this. This is how I used to plan things. But obviously it requires a lot of commitment and disproportionate passion. There have been times when I wake up, I used to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and had tears in my eyes. Why the hell am I doing this? Like, I'm not going
Wow.
to get paid. I'm not. So there were times family was not there. I had to cook my food. I had to take care of my office. And 2 o'clock, get up, get your bike ready, ride 200 kilometers, come back, rest, again start the day. And then again next morning, again do 200 kilometers. Because the event was such that it used to break into 3 days, and you have to be trained that your next day your body has to be in same capacity to have an intense event. So it was tough, but trust me, it has every day was towards betterment of me as an individual, as a professional. I have learned every day. At that time, my I have always had this trick. I always visualize the finish line, because it's very difficult. If you ask somebody layman who's not done 21 kilometers run, you tell him do Ultraman, it is impossible to motivate him.
Impossible.
He'll say, yaar,
Yeah.
pagal hai, matlab, like
Yeah.
it's
कहाँ
not.
होगा?
But you know what I've learned is I will always close my eyes and visualize the finish line, how my family would be standing there for the medal, with the flag. It is such a I can't tell you, you can't have any better feeling than that. That you achieved something and your family and you are there to celebrate. So that really helps me to be motivated every day, because any event you do, it's going to be 3 to 6 months of hard, rigorous work. It will cost you your family time, it will cost you money, and it will cost you your peace. But still people do it, because when you know the finish pay, what is going to be there. So I think that really keeps me motivated. And it's very, very meticulous planning. I have valued, see, finally you have 24 hours, you can't get 26, 27 hours. People who get 48 hours out of 24 hours are the people who manage it well, who plan it well. So I used to have my calendar, I used to plan 1 month. Obviously the calendar would not go the way I wanted, but I knew which direction I wanted to go in. If there was a change, I would change something, something, something. But eventually, I was in the direction of my planning. So my planning was very critical, and obviously, it costs a lot of commitment and time. There is no shortcut to that. You have to be. But if you are passionate and the reason for doing it is very strong and big, you will get up 4 o'clock in the morning. Because every day I used to have a feeling like कि यार कल board के paper है. I would sleep after 4 o'clock. Now it becomes such that even if today I sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, I will get up at 5 o'clock. That is what my body has become. So at that time, like, mostly you will see something you register now. If it doesn't wake you 4 o'clock in the morning with anxiety now, then it's not a big enough goal. Then it is not something what is going to test you. I have always had opportunity where, like, I used to wake up 4 o'clock. Yeah, what will happen to the event? And now I'm a veteran. Now I've done so much of it that people tell me, "Yeah, up to now it's back of the hand. You can do this thing." But it is not like that. Every event you have to respect and give same level of commitment. Like this comrades I was doing, I was not well in between. And last 1 month, I've trained so much. You won't believe I would have spent 12 hours training,
Wow.
because I was so jittery that I can't go unprepared. And you might be finally, hard work supersedes talent. Talent is like, okay, you can run fast or anything, but you will not win till you have not put in hard work to that talent. So you have to put in hard work to cross the finish line. And I was glad that after all this hard work, I could actually finish comrades this year.
Yeah. No, this is very inspiring, Pipin. I think that you hit the nail on the head, saying planning is very essential. All plans, you can make all the plans, but how adaptive you are with your planning, and keep planning as you go, because like you said, calendar doesn't go all the way like you planned, right? So keep
No, it used
planning.
to be
Yeah.
times, there used to be
Yeah.
times my boss would say, "Ki, okay, no, you come
Yeah.
over here. We have a
Yeah.
meeting."
Yeah. Meeting. Yeah.
Now I can't change that, but I would
Mm-hmm.
change my plan. And
Plan.
see, what I when I say planning and these changes, these like setbacks will happen. But if you're very clear which direction you want to have, it's like dot one to dot two. You have to go point one to point two. You can go either straight. That's the ideal way. but it's not in your control. So you will go like this, up, down, up, down, up, down. But the mean line would be the center line which you want to go. That is critical. Setbacks will happen. You will have an injury because these sports are prone to injury. You will have
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
You will have various change in plan. You will have exigencies. But if you plan, most likely the mean line will be the line which you want to actually be on.
It's actually reminded me what you just said. I want to share Tom Brady's quotation. He gave a speech, the player in US NBA. He said, NFL said, to be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't: consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. You know, your story reminded me of that. So I wanted to share that. So, yeah.
When I will see, I'll give you a very good example of this. 2011, I had an accident, gym accident, and I had a cervical disc bulge. So I was actually left hand paralyzed.
Ooh,
I for 6 months I could not move my hand. I was bedridden. I
wow.
was this left arm could not move. I used to go like this wearing a belt. And I had just done my first half marathon, then full marathon. I had just come out, and doctor told me that son, now just to live a normal life you have to take a lot of precautions. This can't happen, that can't happen, and all those things. And but I was not ready to compromise and let go of my this sports life. So I was glad, lucky, because when you have that desperation to solve something, now you will find all everything will fall in place. 6 months I kept on trying. I had a doctor, then I had a surgery, I had epidural injection and everything and all that. And post that I did a cycling from in France, 1400 kilometers from Paris till Brest and coming back.
Wow.
It's like the converted event, one of the most grilling cycling events for amateurs and all that. I did that. After that, all what I did. Now today you won't believe that doctor, that gentleman has kept my photograph outside his clinic. Anybody comes with any kind of illness, he said कि this is what is
देखो.
possible. It is बीमार होना is not a problem, but
Yes,
mentally बीमार होना
mentally
is a problem.
the
So
problem.
most of my sports clinics, they have kept my photograph. That this guy had come like paralyzed left hand with a disc bulge, with a recommendation of an open surgery and every invasive surgery and everything. And after that, he did Ironman, Ultraman, X, Y, Z, and all that stuff. Not boasting of myself,
Correct.
but I'm saying human body is the only machine which has unlimited capacity. Industrial machine will come with a capacity that it can do this much of work. Car will come with a cc that it can drive this part, this load, this. Everything comes with a tagging, with a limitation. But human body comes only with one limitation: your brain. You can take it as much as you want, you can flex it, you can push it as much as you want, how much, as much as your brain allows it. If I had not thought of doing, and it's a very peculiar story. I'll tell you how it happened. So when I was down and all that, I had put in a lot of weight. I had become 100 kg, and I'll send you a photograph, and you should see that before and after photo. I don't know if I can share here or so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so what happened was, after I wanted to get back, so one of my friends said, "Sir, now you can't run because doctor had said no to you. So what you should do is now come with me cycling. It's a very low jerk and everything kind of, because whenever I used to run, it started to pain, and I used to have a complete referred pain and all that. So I said, okay, let's start. And I started cycling. I first day I did 10 kilometers, 50, 100, 200, 400, 600, 1000. And finally, I did Paris, Brest, Paris in France for 1400, 1370 kilometers kind of a thing. So it is something I always was lucky to have right people. Had that guy not told me, taken me to cycling, I would have not known you can do breves, 300, 600, 1100. I have done, one day I took my cycle, I drove down from Gurgaon till Vaga border and back 1000 kilometers. So that kind of stuff I did.
Wow.
So Paris. If you Google about Paris, Brest, Paris,
Yeah.
it is the nothing more grilling for an amateur in cycling. So there's nothing impossible. Most of the time, ordinary people don't do extraordinary things are because they're not able to dream. They're not able to visualize that they can do. And what helps them to visualize is to have the right company.
Yeah.
Always have a company who are like above you, because they'll help you to dream bigger. See, it is human beings' inability to dream big, because people who can dream big and can vision are people like Elon Musk or big shots who can actually foresee things. But we are very average people. For us to dream big, we have to have a right company which will help us to dream big. Or other ways, read books, because that's the best way to engage with people who are visionary or who have ability to dream big. So it is not the common person, because this is what I tell everyone. They say, "नहीं नहीं sir, हमारा थोड़ी नहीं नहीं आप तो athlete हो, we can't do this." But when I narrate this whole story to them, then they say, "Shit, man, we can start it." I feel so happy. So many people I have pushed them. They've done now Ironman. There was a guy who was doing half Ironman. So I told him, "Yeah, just put little bit more. You can do full Ironman." He said, "No, no, sir, it's impossible. I'll lose money. Yeah, I'll get injured and all that." And today he's an Ironman. It is just that he was with me in the right company, and I could push him, and he could deliver what he had never dreamt of. So right company, planning, and hard work. These are the three things for any ordinary man to do extraordinary things.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliantly put. So this is why you are the Maverick, Bipin. That's why
So I will
it's
show
this.
you something.
Yeah,
I'll show you
please. Yeah,
something. I don't know. I
yeah,
can show.
yeah.
This is what I was.
Oh,
I don't know. I can
okay.
show it.
Yeah. So you can
Can
bring a
you
little
see it?
bit on that side. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wow.
So this is what I was in 2011 when I had an
Wow.
injury.
Wow.
And this is on the right side. I don't know, it will be on your left
Yes,
side.
you can see it.
Is
Yeah.
when I was doing preparing for my Ultraman.
Nice. Wow. What a
This,
transformation.
this is what
Oh,
human beings can do. And
yes.
ordinary human beings, you don't have to be extraordinary.
Yeah. That's,
So this is
that's
what
really
I
inspiring.
tell
Yeah.
people, that mostly people tell, नहीं sir ये नहीं है, family है, commitment है, ये है सारा कुछ. But then you will continue to be ordinary.
Yeah.
But yes, like family, what I've started doing now, finally see what happens. Job you can't let go. They will not pay you if you say, no, no, I have to do this. Finally, you end up doing all these extraordinary things at the cost of the family time. And they won't say, they won't revolt, they won't leave you. They're your family. They won't revolt or leave you because you're devoting so much time on sports or work. So what I've started doing is I involve my family also in most of my events. So like in Ultraman, my whole family was, if you see the photographs
Yes.
you
I
have
saw the
posted,
picture. Yeah. Yeah.
the whole family was my crew. They were 3 days in the car with me. They were making my food, my diet, my nutrition, my anything and everything to do with my 3 day success. They were part of it. In this whole process, my whole family learned my way of living, my way of working, and they also had vacation. And they had, so that is the hack I have learned, how to involve your family, because most of the time people say, "Sir, family time gets consumed. I have to go on vacation and everything." So these are not 100% like you can solve problem, but at least 70% of your problems get solved by these hacks.
Yeah, yeah. And like you have the company then, right? Who people inspire you as well. You're looking at them and then saying, "Yes, man, my family's with me. They're supporting me." Even you see all the support stars, all the athletes actually go. Their families go with them, right? Nowadays, they're all with them. So it's brilliant to hear. So yeah, I want to actually, you mentioned you like the job, the work you do, the leadership role you are in. So how do you actually balance then? I know you mentioned that company won't pay you, or company won't say, you had a meeting, you have to leave your planning and then go to the meeting. So how do you balance the demand of high pressure leadership role, which you are currently in, with the training required for Ultraman?
I will say otherwise, Rohit. If I don't do this now, I can't survive in my work. The amount of pressure and stress you have. There have been times 2 o'clock in the morning, I will go, matlab like 12 baje, 12 o'clock, I'll close the work or something. I'll get up, change my clothes, and go for a run. Else, I won't be able to sleep. So it has helped me to actually cope up with my professional life. As I said, I think planning is very critical. I have for last 20 years following to do. Every day I write down first thing that what do I have to do. 24 hours is enough time to sleep, to have time with your family, have leisure life, have your work and your sports. It is just that how you manage. Most of the time, people consume the 24 hours sleeping. They will sleep 8 to 10 hours. Social media, looking at this. Because see, every minute has to count. If you have to live this quality of life, every minute has to count. Every minute has to deliver you 2 minutes. So that is the kind of life I live. Yes, I live like a computer. Like every minute is abhi ye karna hai, abhi ye karna hai, abhi ye karna hai. Every time my mind is like constantly, oh, I didn't do this, I have to do this. And I have never had this problem that I didn't have time to do what I was supposed to do. Be it my work, be it my sports, be it my family time. I have been able to manage, but you have to be super duper efficient. And both of these things have complemented me. Sports has helped me to become much more empathetic person. Trust me, every parent by default should make their kids as sportsmen. They might do well or not well. I'll tell you why. Sports will teach you endurance. Sports will teach you mental strength. Sports, most important, will teach you empathy. You go to office, you will never pat anybody's back and say, good work, buddy, till he's not delivered or delivered something exceptionally. That is what we learn in office.
Yes.
But that
Yes.
is not how sports is. Anybody standing on the start line or anybody starting is good work done.
Yeah.
It comes naturally to you to say, come on, buddy, last 100 meters, just go, get it, fetch it. You will say anything. When you yourself are struggling, I have learned empathy through sports. I have learned how to be, without any reason, helpful to people. No reason or rhyme, people have helped me in situations where in office, if I would have told them, they would have said, I need this for this. If you give me, if I do this, you give me this. There is consideration. But in sport, it's not like that. I'll tell you, when I was training in Bangalore, I had such good souls. There was this boy, which I told you, I helped him to do Ironman. He used to pick me up 2 o'clock in the morning in his car, take my bike. I had to travel 100 kilometers. He would take me 100 kilometers. I would ride the mountain. He would just drive behind me, then get me back. Then we ride again. I would do every weekend this thing. Then he would get me a breakfast also cooked and then drop me back. He had no reason to do this, just the love of sports and learning. In that whole process, he learned. In the whole process, he learned how to do the such stuff. So, best of the best human beings you will meet in sports. I am very strong believer that athletes are better version of human beings. They're more empathetic, more human, more kind, more empathetic to people. So I have become a better person in my office. I become more empathetic. My aggression has mellowed down. So it has really complemented me. So I tell every parent, and I had a TED talk which I have talked about what why parents should make their kids an athlete or a sportsman or sportswoman is not for a career or profession, for becoming a better human being. We spend our whole life earning money, and then we spend that money going to hospitals and saving ourselves.
It's true.
Some have
Yeah.
diabetes, some have heart
Yeah.
attacks or something and all that. So that is the reason. So it impacts one. But 24 hours, if you manage well and you're well committed, I don't think it's lesser time to do anything and everything in your life. I have never compromised. I have been a top rated employee. I used to be at a very senior level. I was chief business officer for Paytm. Before that, I had various leadership level roles and everything. But I've never had a situation where somebody would tell me, "Nahin, he's doing sports, so he's missed his work." I've always delivered on my work. I've always delivered on my sports, and I've now learned in last 7 years to deliver on my family commitments also.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Um, so, looking at the leadership role, you're doing at the moment, and here with the endurance sports. So, how do you approach decision making in high stakes situations? Whether in business or during a race, or you can say, Ultraman helped you to take that decision.
See, it is what I'll say is whatever decision I take, I do a lot of homework, and it goes in my sports also. I do a lot of research work, homework, go at the ground, meet the people, write people, and then take a decision. I consume a lot of data, I consume a lot of information, and I go to the ground and experience things. So any event I do, like I want to do English Channel swim solo. So I did English Channel relay attempt in 2000, I think 2019 or something, just to get the experience for the final solo. So there's a lot of gut. There's a lot of gut inside. Your gut will tell you that this is right, but you just can't go gut as a maverick. Go on your gut and do it. Then you have chances of 50-50. If you deliver, you are a maverick. If you don't deliver, you are a failure. But from a
Yeah.
maverick to sure shot delivery, that is where lot of homework comes in. My every decision making has two things. I do a lot of data crunching. I will read a lot. I will do a lot of research. Second, I will go to the ground zero and do see for myself what is it actually. Any decision I have to take it in my company, I'll first consume the data. But then I will go at the ground because data has this tendency to get biased the way you want to
Yes.
see it.
Yes. Yes.
The way you want to see it half an hour later. See, there have been times I sit in front of my Mac and I will just see the data. After 1 hour, the data will start speaking to you. That is the beauty of data. Same data without moving a cursor, it will start speaking you, it will start showing trends. But another 1 hour, it will start talking the way you want to see it.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is the bad part about data.
Yes.
How I complemented it, then I will go to the field, I will meet my customers, I will meet my team, I'll meet the all the various stakeholders and get the feedback from them, and then correlate both of them. Is data and the field information talking to each other? Sometimes there have been things data is telling something else, ground reality is completely different, and basis that I take decision. And obviously the gut and the experience counts. Today same kind of a event I do with half an effort, because I'm experienced. I don't slog, I don't waste my energy and resources, I do smart work. So that has helped me to take better decisions now.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Very, very well put, Vipin. Very well put. So share with us one of your memorable moment during Ultraman race.
I will. I think it was not Ultraman. I was so well prepared that no day I had a doubt. No day I had a doubt that I'm not going to finish. Trust me, I'm not. It might sound very arrogant, but I had done so much of hard work. I had done so much of hard work that it only injury or something happening to my equipment would have had. And there was a time, I'll tell you, second day I was cycling, and my front derailleur gear chain mover broke, and I didn't know how to sort it. I Whatever I had learned, it was not helping. Then I said, hell with it, whatever it is. So I rode actually in a single gear. I had 10 gears to move in a bike. I just rode the whole ride in a single gear. So that's the
Wow.
kind of experience you have. I'll tell you one very interesting part in my first Ironman. So I had this habit. I put lot of things on social media when I'm doing an event. Day 10, day 9, I will do a countdown and all that. And I was doing it earlier just to, you like it to show it to people, and then but then I realized this is a good part of it. So I was doing this Ironman New Zealand, and the swim was very choppy. We had massive DNFs, did not finish, people raised hand, picked up. So when I did 2.5 kilometer turn, and water was really choppy, matlab I would have drank at least 2-3 liters of water, and it was choppy. I was feeling vomiting, dizzy, and I had another 2 kilometers to go. And I said, "Hell with it, yeah, I don't want to do it." I raised my hand, and the boat came suddenly, and I was just on verge of touching. And you know what came to my mind? I said, "Man, you're putting so many posts on social media, day 40, day 30, day 20." Same people will ask you when you didn't want to do it, why did you post and boast so much about on the event? It hit me so hard. I told that guy, I don't want to come. I will too. And it just hit me so hard that I said I have to find a way to finish it. And I did that. I finished that Ironman. So I suddenly realized, I every time tell people, put so much pressure on you that you can't back out. You can't back out on that. That's a very distinct memory I have of my endurance journey. And mostly I have prepared well. See, one thing what happens to you and as an athlete or as a profession is when you succeed, success, the biggest worst part of the success is it leads to your failure. You become arrogant. The things which made you successful, you'll stop practicing those things when you become successful. Doing that homework, doing hard work, religiously following things, doing it every day, you will leave everything when you become successful. That is the worst part of success. It actually handholds you to your failure, and then you fail, and then coming back is much more tougher. You get into depression. So that is the struggle of being successful. But I think that is what has really helped me. Every time I finish something, I just cross it and move on. You move on to a next destination. Experience helps you, but you have to work hard. You can't go half minded. See, today I can say I give same amount of commitment to every event what I used to do before becoming an Ultraman or an Ironman or a whatever I've done crazy stuff for an India, for a amateur stuff, doing 100-kilometer runs, doing 1,500-kilometer cycling, going into English Channel at 10-degree temperature. All these things are not that I'm some super achiever. There are much bigger as super achievers, which I really aspire to become one day. But what has helped me is that I have always been humble for every event. I have started from zero, and my experience and my maturity has helped me to do it in half the effort. Now I don't put that same amount of effort. I become more scientific. I have more calculated. My diet has changed, my fitness regime has changed, my sleep order has changed. But 24 hours I'm able to do everything what I'm supposed to do as a human.
that actually brought me into thinking, like you said, like you always, planning is very essential, right? So how do you set or adjust your goals throughout the race, or now what you learned in Ultraman, or in your career as well? Like, how do you set and adjust your goals?
See, I keep small milestones in my run. Like I was doing this comrade, I have small tricks. I always tell myself, see, because you have to beat your mind. The tough part of doing endurance events are 11. Like I ran for 11 hours last Sunday. Yeah, last Sunday actually. 11 hours. I was physically fit, but mentally fit hona is something which you have to. So you have to play with your mind. I do small tricks with my mind. I break my journey into small parts. I will not. If you're starting from 0 kilometer, imagine visualizing 100 kilometer is looks like impossible. कितने भी fit हो आप, looking at it is like demotivating yourself. So I used to treat myself, okay, I'll do first 10 kilometers, I'll treat myself with a candy, then I'll do 20, then I will tell in my mind, okay, 20 is better than 10, 10 is better than 0. When I'll do 50, then I will repeat every 10th kilometer. I used to tell my mind, because I had to play my mind, I had to trick my mind that 50 is better. You have achieved 50 now, buddy. You're like, imagine when you were at 0 and now you're at 50. You're much better. 50 is better than 40, 40 is better. I would, people would laugh at me. They're saying you're like some eccentric guy. But this is what I would tell my mind, because there are two people who are running the race. One is your mind, one is your body.
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen people not finishing because their mind said, I will not finish, body is fully prepared. They will not do it, or vice versa. So there are
Yeah.
two components, there are two individuals who are running, your mind, your brain, and your body. Body you have trained, you know it. Mind, you don't know how you'll trick it. There have been times when I use zone out, you hit a wall at 20th. When you think, shit, man, I've just 20 and I have to go to the 90th. And there are mountains coming in. There's not this, there's not water, there's this, that, and all those things. This is what I've learned in my journey, that how to play with your mind. Create few things as a layman. I break my journey into small things. One most important thing I do is I always visualize finish line. Even at zero line, even at registration, I will visualize finish line, how I'll cross the line, how I will hold the flag, who will be there from my family side, how will I tell everyone about this journey. That is one thing. Second, I will always break my journey into small, because I don't do small events. I will do mostly events which will be 14 hours, 20 hours, 30 hours kind of events. Like I've done a 90-hour event. PBP Paris was a 90-hour event. I did cycling for 87 hours.
Wow.
So I used to break small. Okay, when I do 10 kilometers, I'm going to treat myself with this candy. When I do 50 kilometers, okay, at 100-kilometer cycling, I'll take a break and I'll have a coffee. Okay, so I would trick my mind to think about 100 kilometer, not at the 1,000 kilometers. And that at 100 again, I create a new milestone, but always visualize the finish line, that how will I take my flag, how will I finish the line, and all those things. So that is how I trick my mind. So it is, that is how. So mostly you will see there are always two people running or participating. One is your body and another is your mind. So you have to train them both, and both of them require different kind of training. Physically training, grilling yourself helps you to become mentally stronger. But I have seen people failing, people who are physically extremely fit but not mentally fit. And that applies to your basic humor, your personal life also, your
Yeah.
professional life also.
Professional life also. Yeah. So that reminded me, Mo Godard. He was a chief AI officer, I think, in Google. He mentioned that is brain. You need to control your brain, not the other way around. Basically, So brain doesn't need to control you. You don't let brain control you. You control the brain. So he said, like, he calls the brain. I don't know what name he mentioned other day. He say, because Dave, hey Dave, I'm not tired. I need to run, right? Something like this. So brain then follows it. Rather than that's why.
And there are
Yeah,
practices you do. It's not
yeah,
like we see, as I said now, God has made us as a basic format. We can't think human beings, average human beings generally have tendency to be myopic. They can only think short term. Long term में हमेशा negative risky लगेगा. Mentally strong नहीं, we are not mentally strong. We are comfort driven people. This is what comes naturally to human being. Now, if you have to take this out, you have to practice. Every day getting at 5 o'clock in the cold at 3-degree temperature, going out and running will build your mental strength. And it's like exploring. Like after doing 100 kilometers, now I'm not scared of registering for 245-kilometer run. And now I want to do bad waters in coming years, which is a gruesome run. But I'm building small steps. I have done 60 kilometers, 80 kilometers, 100 kilometers now. So now I know next step is 100 miler. 100 milers will help you to visualize 250. So you practice. There are techniques to do this. But hard work, planning, these are two ingredients which will
No,
help you.
brilliant. That's a great insight, and hopefully, audience who are listening to this and watching this episode, they are taking a lot from this episode. So, Bipin, I want to end this episode with a question for you. What are your next goals and aspirations within the realm of endurance support?
I think few things which I have registered for, which I think I always try to look out for things which when I see says impossible for me. The minute I get an answer like that, कि जैसे वो हिंदी में कहते हैं ना ये आपकी औकात से बाहर है. The minute that answer comes in, I will register. So I have registered for Enduroman. So Enduroman is an event. Again, it's a triathlon event. It starts in London and arch to arch. So it says so from London till Paris it goes. So
Wow.
from London till Dover you run 120 kilometers. From
Okay.
Dover to Calais you swim
In channel,
45
yeah,
kilometers English Channel.
yeah.
And from Calais to the Champs Elysees you cycle some 300 400 kilometers.
Nice, nice.
I've registered for that. I want to do
Brilliant.
bad waters. I want to do couple of 250, 300 kilometers run. So these are the kind of things which I today believe that is beyond my okat. So something like this. While Enduroman I have registered and I've been keeping on deferring because it requires a lot of commitment in terms of training, which I'm not able to. So these are a couple of events which I want to do, and I want to spend a lot of time with my daughters now to actually expose them while they do this stuff with me. But if I could actually help them get into this kind of life, not to become an athlete or something, but to become a better human being. If they have this part of their life and they don't pursue sports and they pursue professional and whatever life they want to, but I want to give them that sportsman endurance athlete DNA. That is what my biggest goal is for next 5 years.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Yeah. I just wanted to ask actually, just know it's Ultraman. Obviously, there's a lot of women probably participate as well. So there's something because quite gender specific Ultraman, Ironman. Is there something Ultra Woman or there's something
No,
quite neutral?
generally, I don't know. It's very
Yeah,
chauvinistic, like Ultraman, Iron
yeah,
Man. There are enough and more women who do these stuff
yeah.
and do
That's what I
better
was
than men.
thinking.
So when you see world majors of these things, the women you will see they're like ideally amateur
Great.
men, which they can't even think of doing that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
exactly.
While I don't know for
Yeah,
what reason they
yeah.
call it man, but it is actually gender neutral sports.
Okay.
They compete while obviously categories are separate, men
Category
and women
separate. Yeah,
categories are separate. This but it has nothing to do with this man part. Maybe Shahid, you can say it's a brand thing, but a man or a woman, I have seen much better women doing in these events than men.
yeah, yeah,
So it's not a very gender specific sport. Anyone can do it, male, female, anyone can do it. This too, and there are a lot of women who do this. When you go in, unfortunately, in India, we don't have still exposure and all that because for women they have different challenges, infrastructure, plus the kind of social network of fabric we have. Women are supposed to take care of family. They don't get. They have natural disadvantage vis-a-vis men, and if they are doing, you can trust me, they have done three times more effort than men to do.
yeah,
If I
yeah,
finish Ultraman and there is a woman who finishes Ultraman, I think she should get two medals rather than one medal, because she would have had to do much more hardship than me, managing family, managing kids, doing work, and then doing sports, which men generally don't have to deal with. I can pick up my bag and say I have to train and leave my kids to my wife, and but women can't do it.
yeah.
So it's
Contrast.
gender neutral sports. They're equal good, or women athletes
Yeah,
also who do these
yeah.
sports.
Now, hopefully, by listening, watching this episode, hopefully, we'll get more insights into the into the people's minds, and hopefully, there will be change of culture within our society as well. To bringing endurance supports in the curriculum for kids, right? so they can become better person, like you said, better human being, and better with their careers as well. So brilliant, Vipin. Thanks very much for coming into
My
this
pleasure, Rohit.
space.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me here.
yeah,
It was real good to talking to you and sharing with people what it takes to do extraordinary things.
yeah, brilliant, and hopefully I'll see you in London soon then. So
Yeah, I love
yeah,
that place. I
yeah,
love London
yeah,
City.
yeah,
So I will be there. God
yeah,
willing, I'll
brilliant,
be there soon.
brilliant. I'll
Thank
be
you, Rohit.
there
Thanks for having me.
cheering you for your enduro man. So
Thank you very much.
thank
Thanks a
you,
lot.
thank
Thank
you.
you, Rohit. Thank you.
Okay, listeners, audience, thanks for watching this episode. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'll be back soon with a new Maverick. Till then, take care, stay safe. Bye for now.